If you're divorced, over 62, and were married for at least 10 years, there's a Social Security benefit you might not even know you're eligible for. It's called the Divorced Spousal Benefit, and it could give you up to half of your ex-spouse's Social Security income. Here's the kicker. You don't need their permission. They don't even have to know. And it won't reduce their benefit at all. But if you miss the window, get remarried too early, or file at the wrong time, you could lose out on thousands of dollars in retirement income. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly how divorced spousal benefits work, who qualifies, and what you need to watch out for so you don't leave money on the table. Let's walk through it. Hi, I'm David Haik, financial advisor at DMH Financial Solutions. For more than 20 years, I've been helping pre-retirees and retirees create strategies that give them more control, more clarity, and more confidence as they transition into retirement. One of the biggest surprises I see, especially from divorced individuals, is how little they know about Social Security spousal benefits. If you are married for at least 10 years and are now divorced, you could be entitled to benefits based on your ex-spouse's earnings history, even if they're remarried, and even if you haven't spoken in years. Today, I'm going to walk through the key eligibility rules, how much you could receive, and some common mistakes to avoid, because this is one of those areas where a little knowledge can go a long way toward maximizing your retirement income. Let's break it down. Who qualifies for divorced spousal benefits? Let's start with the basics. Who actually qualifies? To receive Social Security benefits based on your ex-spouse's record, you don't have to be married to them anymore, but you do need to meet a few important requirements. Your marriage must have lasted at least 10 years. That means 10 full years from your wedding date, the day your divorce was finalized. You must be currently unmarried. If you remarried, you generally can't claim benefits on your ex's record unless that new marriage ended in divorce, annulment, or death. You must be at least 62 years old to start collecting divorced spousal benefits. Your ex-spouse must be eligible for Social Security benefits. That doesn't mean they've already claimed it. It just means they qualify based on age and work history. And lastly, the benefit you'd receive based on your ex's record must be higher than what you'd get on your own. Here's where it gets interesting. Even if your ex has remarried, even if they're already collecting benefits with someone else, and even if you haven't spoken in 15 years, you can still claim based on their record, and it will not reduce their benefit or affect their household at all. Social Security handles this discreetly. Your ex will never be notified. You don't need to ask their permission, and if they've had multiple spouses, each eligible ex-spouse can still claim their share without impacting the others. This is a completely independent benefit for you, not at a portion taken from them. What if your ex hasn't claimed benefits yet? This is one of the biggest misconceptions I hear. I can't file until my ex does. Not true. If your ex-spouse is at least 62 and qualifies for Social Security, even if they've chosen to delay, you can still file for divorced spousal benefits as long as you've been divorced for at least 2 years. This is what Social Security calls an independently entitled divorced spouse. What that means is you don't have to wait around and rely on your ex's timing. You don't even have to communicate with them. Once you meet the criteria, you can apply on your own, whether they've filed or not. Now, if they're not yet 62 or they haven't worked enough to qualify for Social Security, that's a different story. But as long as they're eligible, you're eligible. This gives you a lot more control over your retirement income timing, and in some cases, it's the difference between retiring now or waiting a few more years unnecessarily. Quick reminder, even though you can file at 62, your monthly benefit will be reduced if you claim before your full retirement age. So it's important to consider your timing carefully. What if you've remarried? This is where things get a little trickier, and it's a big reason why many people accidentally disqualify themselves from divorced spousal benefits without realizing it. Here's the general rule. If you remarry before age 60, you typically lose eligibility for divorced spousal benefits. Let's say you were married to your ex for over 10 years. You're now 62 and you meet all the other criteria, but if you're currently married to someone else, you can't claim benefits based on your ex-spouse's record. Social Security assumes you'll file on your current spouse's record if it's more favorable. However, there are a couple of important exceptions. Remarriage after age 60 or 50 if disabled. If your ex-spouse has passed away and you remarry after turning 60, you may still qualify for divorced survivor benefits, which could be up to 100% of their benefit amount. That's different from the regular spousal benefit, and we'll cover that in more detail in another video. In terms of the spousal benefit while your ex is still alive, remarriage usually disqualifies you as long as that second marriage is still active. If your second marriage ends, whether through divorce, annulment, or the death of your new spouse, you can often regain eligibility for benefits based on your original ex-spouse's record. So yes, it's possible to become eligible again after a second marriage ends. This is one of those areas where timing matters a lot. For example, someone might get divorced at 55, stay single until 59, remarry at 60, and completely already missed the window to claim based on their original ex-spouse. Depending on your benefit options, that could mean leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table over time. That's why it's so important to talk to a financial professional or contact the Social Security Administration directly before you remarry, especially if you're counting on spousal or survivor benefits as part of your retirement plan. How much will you receive? So let's say you qualify for divorced spousal benefits. How much money are we actually talking about? If you meet all the requirements, the maximum benefit you can receive is up to 50% of your ex-spouse's full retirement age benefit. That's their benefit at full retirement age, not what they're actually collecting. For example, let's say your ex is eligible for $3,000 a month at their full retirement age. You could be entitled to a spousal benefit of up to $1,500 a month. Now here's the part that many people miss. If you file before your own full retirement age, your benefit will be permanently reduced. So if you start at age 62, you might only receive 32% to 35% of their benefit, not the full 50%. That's a big difference over time. So timing your claim is a strategic decision. Also, you can't stack benefits. You'll either get your own Social Security benefit or the divorced spousal benefit, whichever is higher, not both. So if your own benefit is $900 a month and 50% of your ex-spouse's is $1,200 a month, Social Security will pay you the higher amount. You don't get both added together. There's one more important point. Divorced spousal benefits don't affect your ex's payments at all. Whether they're already collecting, haven't filed yet, or have a new spouse, your benefit is calculated separately and independently. And yes, if your ex has been married more than once, multiple ex-spouses can claim on their record, and it still won't affect their payout. That's just how the system is designed. What about survivor benefits? Let's talk about an area that's even more powerful than divorced spousal benefits. If your ex-spouse passes away and your marriage lasted at least 10 years, you may be eligible to receive up to 100% of their Social Security benefit as a survivor. That's not 50%, that's the full retirement amount they were entitled to at the time of their death. This can be a significant income source, especially if your ex earned more than you did during their working years. And again, this doesn't impact anyone else's benefits. If they were remarried, their current spouse may also receive survivor benefits independently. Here's what needs to be true for you to qualify. Your marriage to your ex lasted 10 years or more. You are at least age 60 or 50 if you are disabled. You are currently unmarried or you remarried after age 60. The last point trips people up if you remarried before age 60. You typically can't claim survivor benefits based on your ex-spouse's record. But if you remarried after 60 or your later marriage ends, you can usually still qualify. Survivor benefits are often overlooked because people assume divorce cuts off all access. But Social Security treats you almost identically to a widow or widower if the marriage lasted at least a decade. Also, you don't need to have been receiving divorced spousal benefits before your ex passed away. You can go straight to survivor benefits if your ex passes and the benefit is higher than what you're already collecting. For example, if your own benefit is $1,200 a month and your ex passes away with a benefit of $2,800 a month, you may be eligible to switch over to a survivor benefit and receive that higher amount. Just like with regular spousal benefits, if you claim before your full retirement age, surviving benefits will be reduced. But because the benefit amount is often much higher, it still might make sense depending on your situation. This is where having a personalized plan really helps, because the coordination of when and how to claim makes a massive difference over the course of your retirement. So here's the bottom line. If you were married for at least 10 years, are now divorced, and meet a few key requirements, you may be eligible for Social Security spousal benefits, or even survivor benefits, based on your ex-spouse's record. These benefits are often misunderstood, and unfortunately, that leads many people to miss out on money they're entitled to. But with the right guidance and timing, you can potentially unlock thousands of dollars in additional income during retirement. This isn't just about knowing the rules. It's about using them to your advantage. If you're divorced and nearing retirement or already retired and want help figuring out what you may qualify for, let's talk. Click the link in the description below to book a free consultation with me. I'll help you understand your options and build a Social Security strategy that's aligned with your overall retirement plan. Thanks for watching. And if you found this helpful, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe for more videos on retirement and financial planning. I'll see you in the next one.